One of the main use cases of the clouds parameter is obviously the photographing of the night sky or something in the sky which is not clouds, to make sure that you have a clear view onto the sky and the objects behind the clouds, which would normally be covered by the clouds. And yes, with these parameters, you can really exactly plan to have a clear sky to see everything beyond the clouds. Except of the Milky Way, one uses also photographing the sunrise or the rise or the setting of the moon, and to have a clear view without any clouds onto the moon. In the example, you can see that the moon is rising behind some clouds. Luckily, those clouds are just a little bit fluffy and not so dense, and so the moon is shining through the clouds and it was no problem there. But imagine if those clouds would be more dense, the moon would just not be visible at all. This shot was taken with a telephoto lens through the landscape. Obviously, it would not have been possible if the volcano would have been covered in dense clouds. And so another example to use the clouds parameter is to make sure that there are no clouds in between your position and the subject of your photo you want to photograph. To really understand why we designed ViewFinder in that way it is designed for photographers, you have to understand how normal weather applications work to see the difference to our application ViewFinder. So this is an example of the website clearoutside.com. It's broadly used by landscape photographers or outdoor photographers to plan their shots. It's good to have an overview of the clouds or the weather, which will appear in one exact location. In the top, you can see the times of the forecasted hours, and beneath you can see a table which contains the percentage of cloud cover to be found at the times stated above. You can see in the top line that the total clouds going down from 100% to 88 to 63 to 44 in the course of 4 hours. One could think now that the sky is clearing up, but yes, the sky is clearing up for this specific point on a map, and you have no information what is happening to the clouds in the surrounding of this specific point. Now here's the example of ViewFinder. Imagine you are located in Sioux City and you're looking at the forecast you saw in the example before from clearoutside.com. You can now see that indeed for Sioux City itself, the sky will be clear and cloud-free, and Clear Outside would exactly state, as you can observe here, Sioux City itself will be cloud-free, which is not wrong at all, but it's not enough for landscape photography. When you take another look at the examples of the clear night sky like this with the Milky Way, you can see that this photo was not taken perpendicular into the sky. No, you are photographing the landscape always into the direction of the horizon. The problem which can occur now with normal weather application is that they tell you for a specific location that the sky will be cloud-free. But when you arrive at the location and you want to take a picture of the Milky Way, the sky in the direction of the Milky Way will still be blocked by clouds. So if you look at this example again, and you are in like Sioux City and you want to go out and photograph the Milky Way, and your weather application for your location in Sioux City said it will be cloud-free, and you go out and you drive to your photo location, and then you discover that the sky in the direction of the Milky Way is still covered by clouds. This is exactly the problem you can prevent with looking up the clouds on this 2D map in ViewFinder and to use one specific tool we have designed. I now open it up, the circle tool. You may find your own name for it. We have no specific name for it. You can find it on the top where you can find all the tools. And then when you use it, there will be 3 red circles on your screen. And as you can see, those circles read different degree numbers. So the most inner circle reads 10 degrees, then follows 5 degrees, and the most outward circle reads 2 degrees. In the center of the circles is now Sioux City with a little symbol of a camera. The red circles mark distances you have to keep relative to the clouds surrounding you or in the direction you want to take your photo, for the clouds to be beneath a specific angle on the horizon. But when you now have clouds that are exactly outside of the 10-degree circle, those clouds will still be covering the low 10 degree over the horizon. So you have to keep a larger distance with like the circle for 5 degrees down, the clouds will be lower. So when you keep your distance to have the clouds in a distance where they stay below the 5 degree circle, they will still cover a part of the horizon. So the best way for the clouds to not bother you is to keep them in a distance where they are below 2 degrees over the horizon, so they will just hang around somewhere in the area where there's the light pollution, and they will not have any bigger impacts for your photo. So the idea is, if you move away from the clouds will have a lower angle relative to the horizon. So if you move far away enough from the clouds, there won't be any more visible on the horizon at all. In Viewfinder, you will find 3 different layers of clouds, starting with the low clouds. After the low clouds follow the mid-level clouds, which have a little bit greater height above the ground, and the most highest clouds are the so-called high clouds. The reason for this is a nomenclature in meteorology where the sky is divided in 3 parts. You have the low clouds, the mid-level clouds, and the high clouds. The low clouds are stretching from the surface until 2,000 meters or 6,500 feet. After that follow the mid-level clouds up to 23,000 feet and 7,000 meters. And after that the high clouds, which are going up to 12,000 meters or 40,000 feet. There are many different types of clouds, but a specific type of the cloud doesn't play any role when it comes to forecasting clear skies. So when it comes to clouds, the clouds on the highest level and the high clouds are the most annoying ones when it comes to have a clear sky for photographing. So you can see that the circles have a really big diameter within the high clouds. When you choose the mid-level clouds, the circles will shrink, and then when you choose the low clouds, the circles will shrink again.